Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Steve. This is my wife, Lindsay. And today we are super excited because we're going to be checking out something that we've had on the list for quite some time now. And that is Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland. I'm not really sure what city this is in. Do you know? I'm hoping they'll tell us in the video where this is exactly located. But based off of seeing this shot right here, this is an absolutely stunning
it's beautiful.
chapel. I just love the spires. Don't you like that?
Yeah.
I don't know how old this is, but it looks really, really old.
It's very gothic.
Yeah, it does. That's what I was thinking. Very gothic. I love cathedrals and churches and abbeys. I'm not really sure what the difference in all three of those are. I think cathedral is a part of a church or a part of an abbey, but I'm not really sure what the difference. I think an abbey has something to do with it. It was or is a monastery or something like that. Let us know in the comments, guys.
And is a chapel just smaller, like a smaller?
I believe a chapel is what, like the worship area. I'm not really sure 100%, but let us know in the comments, guys. What are the differences between those? Here in the States, generally speaking, before I started on this journey, I'd never used the term abbey before. And chapel and church tend to go hand in hand.
Yeah. When I hear the word chapel, though, I think small. Like
which kind of looks. This is not
quaint.
The size of like Westminster Abbey or something.
Yeah.
Which you haven't looked at either, guys. I really haven't looked at a ton of churches. I've looked at a handful of them or a ton of chapels, but I love the architecture of these old churches, abbeys, chapels. I mean, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I love
it. It's just beautiful.
I can't wait to see the inside.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get a good look at the inside here, guys. But yeah, we just wanted to explore a new building, so that's what we're doing today.
And we haven't been in Scotland in a while.
Yeah, we haven't. So we're going to check out Rosslyn Chapel.
Marvelous places in our wonderful country. There can be few more stunning places to visit than Rosslyn Chapel.
Oh, wow. The front is amazing. Look, I'm a sucker for...
Wait, is this the front?
Well, I don't know if it's the back or the front. I'm just saying it's the side we were seeing before. This is amazing. I've always, for a long time, I've been a sucker for windows. Church windows.
Glass, especially.
Yeah. I'm guessing this is some sort of stained glass here. What is this design, though? You see that? These like
I don't know that I've ever seen that before.
I don't even know what you call that.
It's almost
pillars?
Almost
that
like
are sideways?
or beams.
Yeah.
Stone
beams that are sideways.
Must just be for support. But...
What is it supporting? Because you're not supporting this, and this is, I guess it's supporting this. Wow. This is probably one of the most unique structures I've seen yet. It's a very unique look.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen many, but I can't imagine.
Yeah, this is just very unique.
When people think of Rosslyn Chapel, they think of stunning stonemasonry and sculpture, Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code, the Knights Templar.
Wait!
The Knights Templar?
I read Da Vinci Code like when it first came out in high school.
I saw the movie.
And I did see the movie too, but I didn't remember. Does it specifically mention Rosslyn Chapel? I don't remember.
Wait, is this the church? Like I can't remember exactly what Da Vinci Code was about, but I know it had to do with this mathematical
Holy
mystery.
Grail, right?
Was that? It was. That's what it was.
Something to do with the Holy Grail. It was so long ago that I read it.
What does that have to do with Rosslyn Chapel?
I don't know.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay,
jog my memory.
And the Holy Grail, and we'll touch on all that mystery and wonder. But the most wonderful, the most mysterious thing of all is the chapel itself. It's not just a story of stunning architecture, mysterious history, and enigmatic symbology.
Wow.
It's also a story of survival. Rosslyn Chapel was founded by Sir William St. Clair in 1446, and he's etched into the very walls of his creation.
1446.
At a time when most people couldn't read. If you wanted to tell biblical tales, or for that matter, the story of your family, you told it through word of mouth or imagery and sculptures. Now in Scotland, lots of that was destroyed during the Reformation, and yet here, Rosslyn Chapel stands as a monument to the Sinklers.
Man, it's so sad.
I
Every
was
time
going to say, doesn't it make you mad to think about all the things that have been destroyed?
my goodness. Like, I mean, obviously places in Scotland aren't the only places that have gone through
Right.
that all around the world, but it's just so sad that people throughout history have not,
Preserved.
I mean, up
And for
until
many
modern
reasons,
day.
it's because they didn't want to, because they were erasing the culture they were overtaking
Right.
or whatever. But it's just,
It's so sad though. It's like, what have we lost that we don't even know about? What in history do we not know? And it's just
probably a lot.
probably most,
Yeah.
really.
Or should I say, St. Clair's. Rollo was the Viking son of the great Orkney Jarl Ronald. In the early 10th century, he raided, invaded, fought with, and finally made peace with King Charles the Simple of France. Now, the price of that peace with Rollo was the hand of the king's daughter and the lands that were given to this Norseman who became the first Duke of Normandy. You can see the Norse link in the chapel. At the base of its most spectacular pillar, you find the 8 dragons of Niflheim that in Scandinavian mythology
Wow.
lay at the base of the great ash tree that bound heaven and earth and hell all together. The treaty that bound Charles and Rollo was signed at St. Clair-sur-Epte, and so the St. Clair family was born. In time, these Scandinavian Norsemen became Normans, and 5 generations later, William St. Clair crossed the English Channel with his cousin, William of Normandy. Now, before long, he'd won favour with
By the way, I just learned that the reason there's so many castles in the UK is because of that guy.
Really?
Yeah, the invasion from...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Malcolm III of Scotland, Malcolm Canmore, as you might know him. There's actually a carving in the South Isle that some say represents William St. Clair, who became known as William the Seemly, carrying Malcolm's wife and the future Saint Margaret back to Scotland. Does the cross represent the piece of the one true cross, the holy rod, giving us the name for the abbey and palace of Holyrood?
Wow.
That was beautiful.
Look, is this a fountain?
I think it is.
That is insane. Is this a fountain with a clock on it? Mm-hmm. No way. It looks like a fountain. Like
It's also in Scotland.
yeah, I believe so. I'm not 100% sure. Let us know in the comments, guys. But I think that's what he was saying. But oh man, that's pretty intricate.
He was certainly made Margaret's cupbearer and granted life rent of the lands here at Rosslyn. William, the now Scottish Norman, died fighting off attacks from the English Normans. His son Henry was knighted by Malcolm Canmore and was with him when the king was killed in a foolhardy raid south of the border. I've actually made a video about that, which will be online soon, and you should watch it. It was that Henry's son Henry who first lived here at Rosslyn, not in the chapel, but before the chapel was the castle.
Wow.
Young Henry was
Where is that?
Oh my gosh, look at that view.
Look at is this the way to drive in right here? Or do you just walk across? Look at that though.
Oh my gosh.
That is beautiful.
That's an introvert's oasis.
Yeah, it really is. Like, can you imagine waking up to this, like sit right here,
Yeah, I
like
live
this
there.
view? Wow. That is beautiful. What do you call that? We'll have to go back and check. Like,
Castle.
yeah, no, I can't remember what he called it though, the name of it.
knighted by David I and made an ambassador by William the Lion. The St. Clairs were close to the Scottish crown, and the walls of the chapel show it. A face almost hidden in the ornate carvings of the Lady Chapel said to be the death mask of Robert the Bruce. In the North Aisle is the burial stone of a later William St. Clair, who was one of the knights entrusted with the task of taking Bruce's heart on crusade to the Holy Land, and he died fighting the Moors in Spain at the Battle of Teba along with good Sir James Douglas. The floriated cross and the swords often associated with the Knights Templar, who, rightly or wrongly, have themselves been associated with Robert the Bruce and Bannockburn. And of course, this place.
Oh, there's cemetery down there too, right here.
It was a later William St Clair who built this magnificent edifice. In 1463, at the height of the Old Alliance, around the time of the 100 Years' War, William had been entrusted with the job of taking James I's daughter Margaret to France to marry the French king. Now, some say that this is what's represented by the mounted knight and passenger carving that we mentioned earlier. It was when he came back after travelling on the continent that he decided to build this magnificent collegiate.
Look at the countryside.
But first, he had to build the village of Rosslyn. You see, the original village was the housing for the stonemasons, the carpenters. No, not that.
Like, what?
The workers, who once they'd built their own accommodation, set about years-long task of building the chapel. Ideas were intricately carved, first on wood, then etched into stone. The length of the project can be seen in the story of the mason and his apprentice. Now, I won't spoil the whole story for your visit, but suffice to say that the master mason carved this most fabulous pillar, linking the
Amazing.
Every time I see stuff like this, I'm just like blown away.
I know.
I mean, how do you carve things like that? My grandfather was pretty good woodworker, but I mean that, just that alone, and I've seen much more intricate stuff than that, but like, it's just amazing every time you see it. So it sounds like, is Rosslyn Chapel in the village of Rosslyn?
to the Lady Chapel, and then
Now,
after traveling Europe for
now that's what I'm talking about. Oh,
Oh my God.
that is insane.
That's beautiful.
Like, how long does it take for a man to carve something like
It
this?
hurts my neck just thinking about having to, like,
It's crazy. It really is. I mean, look at the detail.
I know. It's beautiful.
It just blows your mind how, like, there's no 3D printing there. There's no modern technology carving that. That is a man with a chisel and a hammer and whatever else he's using, like probably a pencil to draw the design ahead of time. That's crazy.
for inspiration, returned to find his apprentice had surpassed his master's work with an even more glorious power.
Oh my goodness. Dude,
The detail.
dude. Look,
Amazing.
you've probably seen it already, but look right above the window here. Look at the glass within this detailed carving. Like this whole area. That is magnificent. I don't know what other word to use.
Humanity at its best.
Yeah, really.
But it's here outside that you see what we've really missed. Because you can see by the way that the stones have been cut that this wasn't meant to be the end of the chapel. This was meant to be the start of the nave that would extend in this direction.
Oh, wow.
What's now the
Whoa,
chapel.
whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, I'm sorry to continue pausing, but I just noticed something. Look how rough.
I know. It looks like it's been disassembled or something.
Like along here. That is interesting. Did that happen?
Maybe it's part of what he's talking about.
That's what I was wondering. Was this just unfinished? But it looks very rough right here to be unfinished. You would think it would be smoother, but I don't know. If anybody knows why this looks so rough, let us know in the comments. I happen to like it. I think it gives it character. But I'm curious to know why that is.
Was only the apse or the choir of the building planned, with the transepts intended to go out to the side and the nave extending 91 feet to the west to create an even more glorious monument to William St Clair's imagination. Of course, we can only imagine what it might have been were it not for the death of William St Clair. When his son
so it
succeeded
never
him,
was finished?
he built a stone vaulted roof on the choir and left it at that. William's death in 1484 had made for a shaky start.
Was this supposed to be a door?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it.
But in the next 100 years, bigger challenges were to come with the Reformation. Mobs were rampaging all over Scotland and destroying all signs of
Oh my
idolatry
goodness.
and pagan imagery.
Wow.
Rosslyn Chapel is full of images that would have been seen by radical Presbyterians as idols. Dragons and scroll-bearing angels from the book of Revelation, the prodigal son feeding swine, the crucifixion of Christ, angels rolling away the stone, a crucifix carrying angel, a young couple turning their back on Satan.
It's
Of course,
kind of,
there are more Templar associations.
it's kind of crazy that this survived that.
I thought about a lot of these buildings in the UK.
I mean, Lot was destroyed, but
Yeah, but it's amazing that, yeah, it really is. When you think about these buildings, like this was 1467,
I forget what. Yeah.
65. I can't remember exactly when, but I mean, almost 600 years, I guess. Like that's pretty crazy.
Carvings like the Lamb of God, Agnus Dei. In lots of places, you'll find angels carrying a shield and an engraved cross of the St. Clair family. But you'll also find little green men, not Martians, but pagan fertility symbols encompassing nature, interspersed with other images around the chapel, showing the transition from winter to spring to summer and then autumn. Mobs drunk on reform and zeal did come out here to rid Scotland of idolatry. You can see literally hundreds of empty niches. They presumably would have contained ornate statues.
Oh, wow.
There's one Victorian era.
Well, it's sad. So
Oh my
those must have been
goodness.
destroyed, or did they not get finished?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that, but then I saw this.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I'm like, man, oh, look at that. Look at
I
this.
say it every time, but I just love the symmetry.
Yes, I do too. But yeah, you're right. Like, so all those statues and stuff just got destroyed. That's so sad, man.
Really, really sad.
I hate that, man. Oh, dude, man, this is beautiful.
Conciliatory statue of the Virgin Mary. But again, can you imagine how this place could have looked today for an irreligious but appreciative tourist like me?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my, look at those ceiling.
Oh my gosh, that gives me goosebumps.
Oh my goodness. That is beautiful. Wow.
Can you imagine how I'll feel to stand in there?
Oh, the resonance.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow.
This is incredible.
This whole place is fantastic, but the Lady Chapel, the location for the altars, is even more special. The groined vaulting of 4 ribs arched to pendant bosses of stunning complexity.
Wow.
This one depicting the birth of Christ. Scenes from the Nativity etched into the stone and positioned perfectly. Whether you look up or down, east or west, there's an intricacy and a detail that fills you with wonder. I don't think anything can prepare you for the sheer number of exquisite carvings and symbols.
I can
From
tell.
Green Men to the Dance Macabre. There's musicians of all sorts, and of
I feel like you would see
being
something new
Scotland,
every time.
Yeah, I
includes
believe you would.
bagpipers. Needless to say, post-Reformation, the altars that would be the location for sacraments caused problems. In 1589, John Knox's brother, no less, was censured for baptising the laird's child in this house of idolatry. In 1592, Oliver St Clair was hauled before the General Assembly and threatened with excommunication if the altars were still intact by August the 17th. And by the end of August, they'd been destroyed. At the height of World War II, some local worthy wrote to the Minister for Labour complaining about the fuel and the manpower used in ministering to such a small congregation and asking that this place should be shut down.
Man.
But it survived.
Wow.
And then protective measures to stop water penetrating the stone made things worse by keeping the water in. This 20th century solution was damaging the very stone wrought to speak its 15th century message. It took 14 years and a huge umbrella to allow the chapel to dry out through the roof before new conservation work was done.
Wow.
It was during that 14-year drying out that they filmed the movie of Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code, whose character's search for the Holy Grail brought them down here to the crypt and delivered Rosslyn Chapel, the Holy Grail of tourism income, to help preserve it for us in future. Wow. To me, Rosslyn Chapel itself is both a blockbuster movie script and a priceless relic that survived the turmoils of the ages, the buffeting from time, elements, and religious zealots.
Wow.
That was amazing.
That was incredible. Okay, this is going on the list.
For sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, this is going on the list. I'm guessing that you can't get open access. Like everybody can't just get open access here to go into the crypt and stuff. But I mean, I'm hoping that maybe if you showed up at the right time, you could get a tour or something.
Or maybe you have to schedule it.
Yeah, we're going to have to look into that, when we finally get over to the UK
It's a miracle, though, in itself that this has survived. All the things that have happened, and
it really is. It's just mind blowing. I mean, everywhere you look here is that is so beautiful. Wow. I love the carvings. I love the stained glass. I love the weathered look of these old chapels. Again, I'm not really sure exactly what the difference between a chapel, a church, and an abbey are. I think the abbey is something to do with has a monastery, or I don't know, something like that. But incredible, guys. I'm glad we checked this one out.
Me too.
Incredible. We're going to look into this little town too. It looked like or this village.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw where was that at? I want to see that village again. Well, anyway. There it is. That's a beautiful area. Yeah. Is this a church over here?
I think it is.
So this is the village or the town of Rosslyn, correct? Is that what you... I believe it is. Did he say that?
Yeah.
I believe he said that. Or at least when this was... I got that when this was built, the surrounding area was the village of Rosslyn. So I'm not sure if it's still the village of Rosslyn or the town of Rosslyn. We'll have to look into that. But yeah, guys, incredible. I'm curious if this cemetery right here is for the chapel here.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But, yeah, you got anything you want to add before we go?
No, I'm glad we looked at this.
All right, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Please click that like button. Feel free to drop your comments or suggestions about this video others. And don't forget to subscribe to continue to follow us on our journey to discover anything and everything about the UK and Ireland. Until next time, guys, peace.
Bye.